A couple videos back, I got some brand new Helix aspera snails, and in case you didn't know, these are live giant snails that live on land, which in contrast is opposite to what I normally keep, which is snails that live underwater in aquariums. So once I saw these snails online, and I found out that you could not only keep them, but you could also breed them, I was like, I need to keep them. After I placed my order and I got them, I started to keep them in a Tupperware container. I cut holes in it and I also added soil, dried sphagnum moss, and I even added some rocks to it. And that's actually where I ended up doing something wrong. I got a comment from one of my viewers that said that if you have rocks in your enclosure, it can actually be bad because snails tend to spend a lot of time on the top of the terrarium and they tend to spend a lot of time on the glass. But if something were to happen and they were to fall off the side, they could possibly land on the rocks and crack their shell, and that's a big no bueno. And I definitely did not want that to happen, so I decided to remove the rocks, and while I was removing them, I got an idea. I should upgrade my current snail enclosure and create Snail Kingdom version 2. I turned my Marineland 5-gallon portrait aquarium into a tall but mini terrarium which holds 2 Helix aspera snails as well as 3 bulbous snails. This 5-gallon has 2 inches of soil mixed with dried sphagnum moss and leaf litter. It also has a small reptile heater which helps keep the snails warm as well as increases humidity in the terrarium. I replaced the rocks with some small dried bark, which is soft and gentle and won't hurt the snails if they fall onto it. I also added a USB light to help keep the snails on a day and night cycle. I've noticed that they prefer to spend a lot of the day hidden and burrowed underneath the substrate, and at night that's when they tend to come out and eat the food that I've left out for them. Now, some awesome things have happened. One of those is the fact that there is some actual plant growth in this terrarium. There have been small little green leaves that have been coming up from the terrarium, which is great, which means that it's healthy and I could possibly grow and keep some other plants in the future. I could grow some sphagnum moss or other types of moss, which would be really cool. And the other really cool thing that I have is a humidity and temperature sensor hidden in this terrarium. Now, humidity and temperature sensor are very important when you're keeping live terrarium animals, especially when they're special and they require a lot of humidity. So this way I'm able to check and make sure that they're doing okay, and if I need to add more water to the terrarium, or if I possibly need to let it air out and not have as much humidity. But you're looking around and you can't see it. I actually have it hidden behind the terrarium. So the thing about this aquarium used to be something called an all-in-one, which means that it's split up into 2 separate sections. The first section is the main section that has the aquascape and all the other things, but behind it is usually a filter. It has the intake, the output, and also a heater. So that's where all the filtration is. You don't need to see any of that with like our usual hang-on back or sponge filter. But since I turned this into a terrarium, I don't need a filter like that. So right now it's just empty, and I decided to put the humidity sensor back there. Since it has the vents and it'll keep the same humidity, the temperature is kind of about the same range that the whole terrarium's at, but it's obviously going to be a lot warmer at the base where the heat mat is, and the heat will just rise. I was thinking about filling the back section of the filter with sponge or anything else just so some snails won't get back there, but for now, since they're not having babies yet, I'm just going to leave it as it is. But once they have some babies and some small snails, I'll definitely put some mat filtering by the intake so they can't crawl back there, because that could be kind of bad. Now you may be asking me, James, why did you fix something that wasn't broken? If you know the saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Well, it wasn't necessarily broken, but I did want to change some things. Firstly, these guys are so cool. Like, if you saw the video where they're crawling on my hand, they're just so cool, and I did not want to have them stuck in a Tupperware container. Like, I literally couldn't see them through this, and when I'm looking through the top, I can't look at them, I can't see them from the sides, there's no light in here, so it was just an uncomfortable situation for all of us, not only the snails, but also me, because I wanted to see them. I get frustrated and flustered, I combine those words. But I prefer to see them, and they were stuck in that terrarium, so I did not want to just have them stuck in there, so I decided to switch it to a clear tank, and I was looking around and I eventually found my Marineland tank. But the other more important reason is the fact that these guys prefer a warmer temperature. The temperature in my fish room and basement is about 68, 69 degrees, which is a little too cold for these guys, so I need to get a heater for them, and most reptile heaters would have melted the plastic that I had them in, so I had to switch them to a glass terrarium. And this aquarium that I had was just empty. It was laying around. It used to have a betta fish, but I moved everything into the fish room. It used to be in my room. So I got rid of it, and it was just sitting around empty, and I was like, I should definitely use this and not just put this great aquarium to waste. I'll have a link down below if you want to check it out. It's a really great aquarium, and I guess it can also be a really great terrarium. Now, I think the very exciting thing that you don't even know about, that I'm about to spoil and I need your help for, is just one second. I actually have a second terrarium similar to this one, except it's even taller, and this one's also glass, and it looks so cool. It is a little dirty, so I probably shouldn't be putting it on my nice desk. But I've had this for almost a year, and I've always wanted to do something with it, and now that I've seen that I can turn this into a great terrarium, I was thinking, should I turn this into a terrarium or an aquarium? I'd love to hear your comments down below, because I know you all love fish, and I honestly love them too. You can, my fish room is right there. But I also like to try some new things. We could possibly keep some other insects. Probably not millipedes, they like a lot of room to scavenge, but maybe a praying mantis? That'd be really cool. Or another insect like that, I was thinking. Or we could do a really cool, I could get really small rocks and I could make a really cool mountain terrarium, and I could possibly have some millipedes and some isopods and other things that could be a little bioactive terrarium. It would look really cool. I really want to spend a lot of time on this scape, just because I think this could be really awesome. Let me know what you think down below. Yeah, I don't know where I'd put it. I mean, it would be cool if I had it right next to here, but I have my computer and my editing stuff. Maybe I could put it somewhere else in the fish room. Maybe I could even have it in my house if my mom wants it. Like, it would be so cool if it's misted and it has nice stuff. Like, I know it looks rough right now with all the dirt, but I'm just telling you, it will look amazing. We will make it look amazing. We could vote on the materials. We can vote on the other things. We could even do a live scape where you guys are talking to me live during a live stream and telling me where to put the rocks and where to put everything. That would be epic. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, but before we end it, this is kind of more of a serious note. I kind of want to talk about the situation that's bigger than all of us. I haven't really addressed this, especially on this channel, and I'm no way a medical professional, but we're all going through this same thing, and I feel like we all can relate. Many of people that I know and many of you are currently on a lockdown, or you're stuck in your house, quarantine, and you're just not allowed to leave, so you might be bored, you might be spending time with your fish, your friends, your family, or FaceTiming people, talking to them. But I have gotten some messages from some people and people that I know personally that have been having a rough time with social isolation. So if you're having a rough time, hit me up on Instagram or Snapchat. I'll try replying to you. We can have a good time. It'll help me. It'll help you. We can both talk. So yeah, links down below or on screen. But please make sure you're not only washing your hands, but you're also staying away from people, avoiding groups. If you see me on my own Instagram stories, you know I have a big group of friends that we love to hang out. I haven't been hanging out with them. They haven't really been hanging out, which is good that we're all preventing the disease, because even if we get sick, we could possibly get our parents sick. So we want to make sure that we stay safe, and we're not doing that. So yeah, make sure you guys are avoiding that and also washing your hands, using hand sanitizer. You guys know when I'm talking about putting my hands in terrariums or aquariums that I always wash my hands right after, just because I don't want to get germs in here. And if I don't want to get germs from my fish, I definitely don't want to get germs from other humans. That's just gross. Another side note is that I do own a couple online stores. One that you're familiar with might be wildpetsupply.com, and currently we are still operating, we are still shipping as long as we're able to. If there's anything that changes, I'll email everyone that's placed an order, or the whole email list as a whole. But yeah, we still are shipping, and as long as USPS is still running, we will get your orders out as soon as possible and as quick as possible. So if you wouldn't mind checking that out down below, help support the channel, help support my fish room, possibly help pay for the future stuff in this terrarium, that'd be greatly appreciated. Check that out down below. My hair has been such a mess today. I will catch you in the next video. Peace.